welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing good. In this cold winter, most of us will be craving for a warm bowl of soup. Soups not only bring warmth to us but also filled with nutrients and helps us to keep our body hydrated. Usually I cook the base ingredients for the soup in a saucepan or cooker and then I blend everything together using a mixie or a hand blender. Though I love cooking, sometimes I lose the interest thinking about the various steps required in the preparation and then the cleaning, especially during colder months. But this AGARO soup maker is such a blessing by cutting our kitchen time. This soup maker can be easily mistaken for an electric kettle. It's compact and take very less space in our countertop. They are not only ideal for making soups but can also be used for making jams, smoothies and sauces. It has a 6 preset cooking functions and comes with a blade for automatic blending. Its maximum capacity is 1 liter and the marking of minimum and maximum limit is provided. I'll show you how I used this soup maker to make some tasty recipes ranging from soups, jams, smoothies to porridge. First I'll start with a protein and iron rich soup made with moong dal and drumstick leaves. I have already kept the above ingredients ready. I have washed and soaked the moong dal for some time, cleaned the drumstick leaves, chopped the onion, tomato, garlic into small pieces. And then I have dumped everything inside the soup maker along with the above spices and salt to taste. Then I filled it with water just below the maximum level marking. Then I put the lid on. And this soup maker comes with 6 preset cooking programs. Let's see one by one. For this recipe I am going to choose the smooth option. It will cook all the ingredients and then blend it finally. For the normal veg soup, the manual says it takes around 19 minutes, so I decided to check the duration for the moong dal soup. While it's getting cooked, I'm going to pressure cook some rice. Just checking in between how it's getting done. It looks nice so far. After 25 minutes, it beeped for 60 seconds to indicate that the soup is ready. For some extra flavor, I have squeezed half a lemon. I'm really surprised by the fact that this soup smells amazing. I tempered half teaspoon of cumin seeds and a dried red chili in ghee and added to the soup, which is completely optional. Finally, I poured the soup over the rice and I had this with brinjal fry. I'm happy that I made this healthy dish with minimum effort, and I'm even more happy that my son wiped his plate clean by himself. Next I'm going to make a chunky soup. First I started by chopping beans, carrot, capsicum, mushrooms, onion and garlic very finely. Then I dumped everything into the soup maker. Since it's going to be an Indo-Chinese version, I'm adding some soya sauce, vinegar, sesame oil, pepper powder along with salt to taste and 1 cup of water. I have tasted wonton soup before in Chinese restaurant, hence I got this weird idea. I had some instant ravioli. Both ravioli and wonton are stuffed dough dumplings, while one is Italian pasta and the other is Chinese dumpling. So I added 1 cup of ravioli. Let's call it mini dumpling soup. For this soup, I'm selecting the second option, chunky. It will just cook the soup, no grinding. In 19 minutes, the soup is ready. Garnished it with some chopped coriander, sesame seeds and chili flakes. Hot dumpling soup is ready. Next, I thought of making ramen soupy noodles. I repeated the same recipe, just swapped the ravioli with noodles. It's actually done before 19 minutes. Since it's an instant noodle, I used top ramen here. In the same way, we can also make thukpa but with different ingredients. Instant noodles are already easy to cook, but this soup maker makes it even easier. No need to saute the vegetables and then wait for the water to boil before adding the noodles. You might think that I'm going over the top, but seriously, having this gadget in our kitchen is like having a little helper. It really helps us to have some extra time and energy for us in busy days. I'll finish the soup recipes with this last one. For this, I'm chopping carrots, sweet potatoes into small pieces. Then I chopped some tomatoes, onion and garlic. These are the best alternative for broth. As usual, I dumped everything inside and pouring water just below the maximum level. Then I added some salt to taste, pepper, garam masala, turmeric and oil. I selected the smooth option for this one. Super silky carrot sweet potato soup is ready. I'm adding some cream and garnishing it with some pumpkin seeds. I'm going to enjoy this super healthy soup with some toasted homemade bread. Keep watching the video, I'll be sharing this whole wheat bread recipe. Strawberry season is almost started, hence I decided to try some strawberry compote. First I soaked it with some baking soda for few minutes and then washed it. Compote is similar to jam but the consistency is different. Compote is less denser whereas jam is very dense and thick. To the soup maker, I have added 2 cups of chopped strawberries and 1 cup of coconut sugar. And then a teaspoon of vinegar. Let's check whether it gets ready in 18 minutes as said in the manual. I am a minimalist until when it comes to jam and pickle bottles. I just love collecting them. The compote is ready within 18 minutes. This can be used as a topping for pancakes, ice creams and cheesecakes. I often make yogurt cake, so I'll be using this as a topping. ABC juice became popular a few years back and now everyone started making ABC malt. And I thought why not make an ABC jam. To make this I have taken 1 medium size apple, half a big beetroot and 2 small carrots and they weigh 250 grams. Here I have taken the fruits and coconut sugar in 2:1 ratio. Then I dumped everything into the soup maker and squeezed half a lemon. To make the jam, first we have to choose the compote mode and then to make it more thick we can choose the jam mode. Here I committed one minor mistake. So instead of starting, all the buttons went blinking. So I contacted the customer care and registered a complaint. They responded back immediately and guided me through a video call. I am supposed to add smaller chunks of hard vegetables like carrots and beetroots. So I blended it first and then started the program. In 19 minutes, the jam was ready. I love bread and jam. Now thinking that I can make fresh homemade jam in 18 minutes is just mind-blowing to me. Look how spreadable the jam is. Next on my cards is marmalade. We'll definitely try orange marmalade once this jam gets over. Barley is high in fibers, minerals and vitamins. So I thought for breakfast, instead of oats porridge, I'll try barley porridge once. I added 1 cup overnight soaked barley with half cup of cooled evaporated milk and half cup water. I cooked them in chunky mode. Once they are done, I blended them for thinner consistency similar to oats. On cooling, the porridge will become even more thick. I topped it with some cranberries, pumpkin, melon seeds and drizzled some honey. It tasted just like steel cut oats. How many of you have had this simple but yummy snack back in school days? During my school days, a vendor used to sell this outside our school gate. He will cut the guava like a flower and then sprinkle some salt and chili powder over it. And thinking about it, all of a sudden I wanted to cut this guava like a flower. Its pink flesh makes it even more pretty. But sorry, I have to chop this into small pieces since I'm going to make a smoothie in my soup maker. I have taken 1 guava, 1 banana and few walnuts. Then I added 1½ cup of milk and some honey. To make the smoothie, I selected the blend option and long pressed the start button. Guava smoothie is ready and I felt making smoothie in the soup maker is even easier than making it in the mixer grinder. Another best part about this soup maker is the cleaning part is very easy. Just add some water and a squirt of dishwashing liquid. Then blend for 30 seconds. Then pour the water out and clean it once again if needed. Finally, wipe it with a clean cotton cloth. A couple of years ago, hot cocoa bombs and Dalgona coffee were trending in Instagram. I have never been a fan of Dalgona coffee but loved hot cocoa bombs. Hot chocolate bombs are a chocolate sphere filled with cocoa powder and marshmallows. When the hot milk is poured on the chocolate sphere, it melts, releasing the cocoa mix and creating a tasty cup of hot chocolate. First, to make the chocolate sphere, I started by melting 70 grams of pure dark chocolate. By using a double boiler method, I melted the chocolate. Then I got this silicone hemispherical mold from Amazon. I'm spreading a spoonful of molten chocolate to each cups. Total there are 6 cups, so I'll be getting 3 number of cocoa bomb. Now I'm going to place this in the freezer for half an hour or until completely set. In the meanwhile, I'm going to prepare the bread with which I'll be enjoying my homemade soups. A couple of months ago, I posted the recipe of a no-knead Dutch oven bread using 40% maida and 60% atta. But this time I made this no-knead bread with 100% atta. To make this, first I mixed the above ingredients and added 210 grams of wheat flour. Then I mixed everything together with a spatula. If needed, you can 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. I added 2 tablespoons extra. Then I'm using my hands to mix. Once mixed, the dough will be extremely sticky. I covered the bowl with a towel and a plate and let it rise for half an hour. It's after half an hour. I'm going to do a stretch and fold technique on this dough. After wetting my hands in water, I'm stretching the dough like this and folding it to the opposite side. I do the same for all the 4 sides. Again, I'm letting it rest for another 30 minutes. At 10 a.m., after half an hour, I'm going to do the second round of stretching and folding technique. I'm going to repeat this process again for 4 times. So totally it will take 2.5 hours. For better understanding, I have provided the timestamps in the top corner of the screen. You can check it once more. Now second round of stretching and folding is over. Then at 10:30 am, I am going to perform the third round of stretching and folding. Last time when I baked the bread with both maida and atta, I didn't perform these stretching and folding. Instead, I let them rise for 6 hours, then I baked them in the oven. But this time I did the stretching and folding 5 times with a period of interval 30 minutes. Doing this produces lots of bigger air bubbles in the dough and finally yields a soft bread. Now it's 11 am and I'm going to perform the fourth round of stretching and folding. And now it's 11:30 am. I'm going to perform the fifth round of stretching and folding. It's clearly evident that the dough has doubled in size. Finally, fifth round of stretching and folding is over. Now I'm going to preheat the oven with cast iron casserole for 15 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius without the lid. This casserole is also from the brand AGARO. This cast iron casserole, also known as Dutch oven, is the main necessary product to bake this no-knead bread. As this cast iron casserole helps to retain the heat and evenly bakes the bread from all the sides by maintaining a stable temperature throughout the baking process. After 15 minutes, I take it out and sprinkle some wheat flour on the bottom of the pan. Then I'm carefully transforming the prepared dough to the casserole. No need to worry about the shape. Then I'm sprinkling some flour on top and making some cuts. Then I'm placing the casserole in the oven with the lid and baking it for 20 minutes at 210 degrees Celsius. In the meanwhile, I'm going to prepare a biscuit dough and bake it along with the bread. I have taken 3/4 cup of rolled oats and ground it into nice powder. Oats flour is ready. To this I'm adding 1/4 cup of rolled oats, half teaspoon of cinnamon powder, half teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt. Then I'm adding 1/8 cup of coconut oil, 1/8 cup of maple syrup. You can also use honey instead, and then half teaspoon of vanilla syrup. I'm combining everything together. Then I'm dividing this dough into 8 equal parts of balls. Then I'm pressing these balls with my palm and make it into small discs. I make sure that there are no cracks on the edges. Now I'm going to try something fancy with this biscuit since it is festive season. How many of you like Jim Jam biscuits? So something similar to that I'll be making now. And they are called thumbprint cookies. After lining the tray with the butter paper, I am greasing it and I am placing all the shaped cookie dough. Now I am making an impression in the middle by pressing it with my thumb. Next I am filling it with ABC jam that I have prepared earlier. 20 minutes is over. Now I am removing the lid and baking for another 15 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. Then I'm placing the cookies in the middle rack along with the bread. After 10 minutes, I'm rotating the cookie tray. "15 minutes over, so I'm taking out the bread. Placing the bread upside down for cooling it. After 5 minutes, I took the cookies out. Once they becomes nice golden brown color, remove it immediately. I have allowed the bread and biscuits to cool for 15 minutes by placing them on this rack. Jam. My little critic approved the cookies. These cookies tasted similar to Unibec digestive biscuits but better. Last time I made a big loaf with 420 grams of flour, but this time I made a small loaf with 210 grams. But look at the air bubble holes. This stretching and folding technique is really awesome, and I came to know about this technique from a blog post written by a pastry chef. I toasted some slices for my son's snacks box. The chocolate cups for the hot cocoa is ready. I'm carefully demolding it without breaking them. To these cups, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 marshmallow. By applying very little drop of water, I am sealing the 2 cups together. We have to be very gentle and quick at the same time, otherwise we might leave a hole by puncturing it. Now again I'm keeping this in the freezer for some time. My year is never complete without decorating my home for Christmas. I made these honeycomb Christmas trees last year. The best thing about this decor piece is once the festival is over, we can easily fold them back and store it in a small box and doesn't take much space. To make this, I have taken 13 number of A4 sheets and folded them into half. Then I am tracing a tree cutout template over the folded A4 sheets. Then I took 4 pairs of folded sheets and clipped it together so that they don't move. And then I carefully started cutting along the traced line. Then I am applying a straight line of glue, 1/3 from the top and 1/3 from the bottom. And I am folding and pressing it down firmly. Then I am gluing all the pieces together by applying a straight line of glue in the middle. For extra robustness, I am gluing a thick paper on both outer sides. When we open this, a 3D tree is formed. Then I am securing the edges with a paper clip. In a similar technique, I am going to make snowflakes. First, I am going to fold the paper and gluing the edges just like an envelope. Then I am folding it into 2 halves. Then I am using this design cutout and tracing it on the folded paper. Then cutting over the traced line. Inside I am making a straight line with the glue and giving a nice press. I have made a total 6 pieces like this. Then again I am gluing everything together by making a straight perpendicular line in the middle like this. Here I have taken two colors and placed alternatively. If I open, a cute 3D snowflake is ready. I am securing both the ends together with a paper clip. Totally I made 2 of them. Then I am planning to hang these mustard yellow trees with the help of a thread, and at the bottom I have attached 2 wooden beads. This looks similar to the bell hanging that I made in the hallway makeover. In the Diwali decor, I hung a few flowers on the pendant lamp above the dining table. In the same way, I am going to add a few DIY ornaments that I made. And these tree shades matches perfectly with the mustard accent wall in the background. If you want to know how I made that accent wall, I will give the link in the description box, you can check it out later. Then I have these 2 pine cones which we collected from Jeju Island during a small trek. I am also hanging them using this paper clip. Next I am hanging the snowflakes. I believe the color of these floating ornaments matches well with my dining room theme and color. Using polymer clay, I made coasters and flower holder for Diwali. And I have 2 more packets of clay left out. So with that I am going to make a Christmas house tea light holder. I always wanted to get one and I have been looking for it for more than 3 years. When I searched it online, it was too pricey. So this time I decided to make one. First I mixed the polymer resin and the hardener together. Then I placed a paper below and rolled it flat using the chapati rolling pin. I have cut out the template of the house and kept it ready. I am placing it on the flattened clay. Then using a small cutter I am removing the excess part. Then I am cutting and separating the each panel. Then I am removing the top paper and using the rectangle cutter I'm making small openings for the windows. With this I cut the windows out. More the windows, better the lighting. In the same way I completed the other 3 panels and allowed it to dry. And with the leftover clay I made a small reindeer tree flower holder and a snowman. Now with the help of glue I am going to assemble this mini house together. But before that I sanded the rough edges. Then I painted this house white. And also I painted the other miniature figurines. And this reindeer turned out so cute. Honestly, it looked like a Pixar movie character. I'm going to place everything inside this cake stand, but before for the snow effect I'm sprinkling some talcum powder. Then I'm keeping a string light inside this house. I never thought I could create such a whimsical decor piece. Then in front of my DIY moon lamp, I'm placing all the honeycomb trees that I made. And after switching on the light, this looked magical. I'm just in love with this whole setup. Finally moving to the entryway. I'm replacing some of my usual decors with the Christmas decor. I got these pine cones from our trip to Ooty. Instead of buying them, getting it from Mother Nature gives a nice feeling. And I'm finally placing a honeycomb tree here. A very minimal look. And now I'm going to enjoy all of these treats that I prepared earlier. That's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If you like this video, give a thumbs up and leave your thoughts in the comment section. See you all again with another video. Until then, bye. Take care.